All right, guys, here we go, something new. Colorado Dave here. I decided to do some full frontals, so hopefully you guys like them. Anyway, we're going to talk a little bit about my top 5 knives, and I know I've drilled this into the ground. I know it sounds like Groundhog Day. It sounds like Bill Murray, day after day, day after day. Honest, they keep changing. That's why I keep putting up different videos saying these are my top 5, these are my top 6, these are my top 7. You know, they really have been changing, but I can honestly say that I have no other premium knives outside of what's in front of me right now, which are these 5, and that's all I have. I will be adding to my collection. I will be adding 1, possibly 2 knives in the near future. And that's just because I sold everything off and I was going to get a couple to get me started again as far as my recollecting again. But again, I'm going to build it much slower. My focus is going to be on these knives. And there's a reason I have each one of these knives. So I'm really excited to share them with you. I'm excited to talk to you about them. And I want to hear your thoughts. You know, do give me comments. Please subscribe if you haven't, and give me comments, guys. Let me know what you think. You know, that's what this is about. Let's have fun, you know. Anyway, so what do I got in front of me? Let's start out here with the Sebenza. It's probably a good place to start, which is my large Sebenza. If I had one knife out of all of these, and I wanted it to last me forever, this would be the knife I'd pick. And that would be the large Sebenza, 31. Awesome knife. No question about it. Great knife. What else? Let's talk about our Spyderco Kapara. We're all familiar with that knife. Astaire, I believe his name was. Astaire Phillips. And anyway, he was an Australian guy. He was a chef by trade. And he's the one who designed this knife. And he did have like light prep and kitchen in mind when he created it. So he likes to play around with slicing up apples and doing things like that, you know, peeling things, whatever, tornading something. Etc. with this knife, and you know what? It's great for it. And it's not like a true kitchen knife, but it's like having another Perry knife in the kitchen, and it really is a nice knife. And I play with it in the kitchen just because it's fun, to be honest. And I gave up my Spidey Chef for this knife when I made my choice. Remember, guys, I started out with probably about 45 knives, and over the last 4 weeks, 5 weeks at the most, I've gone from 45 knives to 5 knives. That's it. That's all I have total in my whole collection. That's not a lot. That's a big statement. And am I happy? Did I make a huge mistake by selling off a bunch of stuff? There's things I wish I didn't sell, but I needed to sell them, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with everything that got sold, and I'm okay with the money that I raised that I needed to. And now I'm able to get a couple knives, which I will do on the tail end of this, and start over again. But you know what? It's kind of refreshing. It's kind of like, you know what? Let's get a clean slate and let's start over again. But I don't have a clean slate. I got 5 knives that I'm counting on, and if more come along someday, great. But these are the ones I'm counting on. And starting out with the Sebenza 31, that's a beautiful knife. What more could you ask for? The Kapara, beautiful knife. Very slicey. This is slicey too, but this is very slicey. My number 1 knife of last year was my Para 3. I love this knife. This is the one that's done in the Maximate. This knife's great. It's a lot of fun. I'm not doing it justice right now, but this is a great knife. Again, I highly recommend it. If you get it, you would definitely want to switch the clip on it. Everyone says that. It's true. This is the one knife I'd say you probably need to switch the clip. I have the Lynch Northwest clip. There's also the MXG clip is the other one. But they're both fine, whatever you prefer, whatever your fancy. Great knife. This was my number 1 tool last year. It was my number 1 carry last year. And it was my number 1 knife last year. This year I think I'm gonna find that I'm gonna have another number 1 for a knife. I don't know if I'll find a better tool, but time will tell. All right. The other one that was in my top 5 that you might have seen on my list earlier that you are not seeing now is the 940, and it's the version that was the HQ exclusive that was in the Jade and the M4 with black coating. Love that knife. Somebody gave me a nice offer on it. I went ahead and I took it, and so I did sell it. In that breath, I knew I wanted another 940. That was my first my first 940 ever. So I knew nothing about them. I knew a lot about them, but I had never owned one, and it felt so awesome, guys. It felt so awesome. It's just one of those things. Once you try one, you got to go back for more. And I will always have a 940 in my collection at this point. So when I decided I'm starting over again, the very, very first knife that I went and bought was this one right here. And the reason I bought this was because I knew that this was such a classic feeling knife. The short time I had gotten to play with the other one, and it felt so good in hand. It just, I love the lightness of it. I love the way it feels in the pocket. It's great to carry, especially in the summertime like it is now out here. Just great, 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 great light knife in hand. Yet it's got a lot of blade and it's got a lot of handle to it. So another great knife. You got some great steels here. If you're looking at the different steels that you got around you, you have what is this, S30V on your Spyderco. You got S35VN. That's CPM S35VM. You have CPM S45VN, which is the brand new one from Chris Reeve. You have S90V, which is a very, very high edge retention knife, or steel, excuse me. And then you got the hardest steel of all of them as far as edge retention goes, and that's going to be your Maximate, which is here on your Para 3. And the Maximate's great. I've had a lot of fun with it. I've sharpened it twice. I can put a great edge on it, which I have. And yes, it definitely retains it. No question about it. It's a great edge. It patina's up a little bit, which is cool. I like it because it's unique to any other blade I have, and it's the only one that I have like that. And so, so I'm liking the fact that I'm getting a patina and getting some different looks, you know, and colors into it, which is kind of cool. So, anyway, but that's all I got, guys. Beautiful knives, man. Covers a lot of territory with the type of steels. But what's the one common theme that you see in all of these? They're work knives. Every one of these are work knives. None of these are showpieces. None of these are safe queens. Every one of these are to be used. Sebenza, large Sebenza, absolutely. Hands down, it's a user knife. Your small Sebenza, absolutely, it's a user knife. It's one that you can carry as it's a great everyday carry knife. No question, it's a great EDC knife. Your Benchmade 940, another great EDC everyday carry knife. One that would definitely be a part of the same. I mean, you got a great rotation you're looking at here. Then you got your Paramilitary 3 with the Maximate. Again, not an overly intimidating knife. Definitely, it's, you know, you can wear it in a lot of conditions. It can definitely, for its size, it can definitely hold its own and definitely be considered a heavyweight for its size. Then you got the Kapara, and they're all winners. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with any of them. So anyway, I'm babbling at this point, guys, but these are my top 5. I wanted to show them to you. I want to show them to you in a different format. If I'm looking down a lot, I apologize. I'm still adjusting to having a camera in front of me, so I'm trying this different angles. Let me know if you guys like it. Do give me a response on it one way or the other if you don't mind. If you like it, great. If you don't like it, that's okay too. If you got some thoughts on some different ways that I can present knives and do things with you, I'm listening. I want to do one of these videos where I have the camera, I think, in this kind of angle, and I'm going to do some sharpening for you guys. So I'm talking about doing some sharpening. I'm a culinary guy, so I got some Shun knives, and I want to probably pull some of those out and go in the kitchen and play around, do some chopping and doing some cutting with some different things, maybe even do a recipe. But again, just to do something different, you know, just to have you guys see me in a different light than pocket knives, but yet very knife related. So we'll see where it all goes. I do camp. I just went this past weekend, but unfortunately they had fire restrictions, so we weren't making. I wasn't getting to baton anything. I wasn't getting to do anything with wood because I really wanted to chop up some wood for a fire, and I couldn't do any of that. So I didn't bring my knives out. I didn't do a whole lot with them. I used it with my cooking a little bit, but not enough that I felt like I could videotape it with everything else I had going on that day. So anyway. But that's all I got. Thanks for listening. Thanks for coming. Thanks please subscribe if you haven't. And those of you that have, thank you. And some of you guys have been making a lot of comments online, and I appreciate it. I try to keep up with them. Hopefully, I get to most of you. I think I do. But thank you very much. I do appreciate the comments, and I try to listen, and I'm trying to learn from them. Matter of fact, the first time I did this video, I took the video down already, but I literally had it up for like 10 minutes, and I got a comment, from, I can't remember the name, and I apologize, I'll look it up, but I got a comment in reference to, you can't see your knives, guy. That's not a bad video, but I can't see the knives. And then I came back and I looked at it myself, and I'm like, yeah, you know what, you're right, you can't see a single knife. So I pushed the camera back, and hopefully I got a better angle that it works better. And all this is brand new to me, so I'm learning. But so if you guys got suggestions, I am listening. So thanks so much, and signing off for now. Colorado Dave, knives in our lives. Thanks, guys.